Hello, this is Lisa LaRose here on Connect to Love on PRNFM, and I just want to say we have been speaking about love and how it is finding its way back into the hearts of humanity, and we've had conversations about humankind having the potential to really create a world of peace and plenty and beauty and harmony, and how we are all connected by love. And I truly believe that humanity is really at a precipice where we can choose to bring unconditional love into not only our personal lives, but also into a planetary expression. And each one of us can make a difference, which is really why I am so excited, because we have a very special guest with us today. We've had Carol Collins, America's Medium, on the show previously. There's just so much that has been unfolding for her and for us and for each one of us since our last conversation. And for those of you who may be familiar with Carol, she is just absolutely amazing. Her ability to channel spontaneously manifested in 2019 after 9 months of very quiet meditation, and she's been a trance channel ever since. They have said of her, which I really believe to be very true, that through Carol, the Yeshua Collective provide the depth of Edgar Cayce, the substance of Jane Roberts, and in the style of Esther Hicks. And there are so many gifts that she has to share with us, not only as Carol the person, but also the Yeshua Collective. She began writing books that were channeled in 2021 and amazingly, I came out and published 15 books that with more to be written. And I'm just so eager to welcome you, Carol, and also the Yeshua Collective.
Hi, thank you so much. So this is me. I will say, just for a bit, for any of your listeners that are a little unclear about what a trance channel is, I just say it's advanced clairvoyance. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. So what is clairvoyant? It's hearing, it's the mind's eye activity, but it's hearing a voice in the mind's eye, but it feels and sounds a little different than your own. And it's a conversation with your guide and with loved ones that are in the non-physical place, from beyond or I don't like to use words like spirit world, but some of your listeners, that might make more sense to them. So in the non-physical place. And clairvoyance is in your head. It's like there's another voice in your head talking to you. And that kind of, when you put it that way, it sort of sounds strange. But when it's understood that mediumship is what it is clairvoyance, ocularity, is mediumship, being able to convey words that are coming from the place where we all go after we die. So a channeled person and channeling, although a lot of people use the word to mean that they feel connected and that they have inspired thought, and some say any activity in the mind's eye is channeling, Yeshua disagrees with that. They say channeling is the progression. So you've got clairvoyant activity, mind's eye receiving of conversation from the other side. But, when we're children, we're taught, even as adults, I should say, the learning never stops on this one. Speak before you think. Oh, I should have thought before I said that. We just condemn ourselves and we feel embarrassed, and we've got all kinds of, examples individually about, I should have thought before I said that one. And we're all susceptible to what that does to the mind. And the mind simply says, I have learned something. I've learned that I'm supposed to think before I speak. And then it gets applied to with your guide. And so you hear, the words are in your mind as though you're thinking them. And so you think before you speak. So channeled, true and open channeled, is when the mind says, I love where the information is coming from, meaning from this non-physical cord that connects us to our guide. When the information comes through the guide, I trust it. I will allow myself to say them out loud. And that's why Yeshua calls channeling the art of allowing yourself to undo the thought of, I need to think before I speak. And so that's what that is. Channeled is just a progression from traditional clairvoyant mediumship into out loud mediumship. And it's very verbal and it's very fun, and it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, thank you. And one thing
Definitely.
I'd like to add, Carol, and I'd love for you to comment on this as Carol, the person, because this channeling comes from a place of love. And as for you, Carol, the person, as this gift came through you, do you feel that it was part of what you were called to do here on your time here on the planet, to bring through the 4 pillars of learning, really the essential material, and to really assist humanity at this precipice in time?
Well, I love your question, and as you were asking it, I was trying to think about how to answer that. I think it comes with love, and it comes from love, and from love. So I think it comes from love, meaning the other place, and it comes with love because I love it so much. I love. The information is so extraordinary, and there are things that Yeshua teaches. You know, the essential material, the 4 pillars of learning. That's something that I asked them in the beginning. Is this like your first wave of teaching, or what is all the material? And they said, no, this is what we will be teaching for as long as you will let us do it. And I said, oh, we're in this for the long haul then. And so the pillars are simply this. Yeah, because I'm not going to let this stop. So pillar 1, they call it the foundational material. It's about conscious being, life on the other side, and why we have a physical life. Pillar 2 is law of attraction, idea construction. Pillar 3, the art of self-healing. And pillar 4 is intuitive advancement. They call it unfoldment. So when they told me that I was someone who did build into this physical life, meaning a soul intention, to hopefully find interest in channeling, true channeling, and then stick with it to bring it onto the surface. They call me a late bloomer because it did not happen until I was 48. And when it did happen, it happened in a big way. They say it's kind of like being pregnant for 48 years. It's just gestating. And then instead of giving birth to a baby, you give birth to a full-grown adult. They said it was just gestating my whole life. So when it came to the surface, it came to the surface full-blown. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, being a late bloomer. And they did say that I had a soul agreement to have books written on pillar 2 and 4, so law of attraction and intuitive studies. But law of attraction is you get what you think about. What you love, you get more of. And I love the whole idea of people learning to do this, channeled, and moving away from images in the mind as a way of giving readings, and moving away from just old-fashioned ways of being able to connect. And I guess because I loved it so much, they added on pillar 1 and 3, so now they teach all 4. And so I think it's fun. So law of attraction was on my side with that one.
I have a question kind of along these same lines. Is it that the collective feels that the Yeshua collective feels that at this time in this planet's history that we're ready for this, that more and more people are of the mind that this is I guess what I'm asking is the collective, why now? I guess that's the question in this planet's history. Why now?
Well, I'm sure they have their own answer to that, but I've heard them answer a similar question often enough that I'll give you my rendition of their answer. A couple of things. They say psychic readings have been in the world for not that long, 150 years or so, and before that, it was clairvoyant, and it was using objects to help understand what was coming through. And so psychic readings, unfortunately, are reading another person's energy, but it's not connecting to the other side. So when they talk about clairvoyance, they are talking in three different ways. Intuition is a silent conveyance of, please do this. If you can hear me, do this. If you can hear me, do this. And it's a silent conveyance. So when people say, I'm intuitively writing, well, that means that it's inspired thought. Clairvoyant activity is hearing the words being presented in the mind's eye. And then channeled conversation is words that are being presented out loud. Now, as far as why now, well, psychic readings kind of about, I don't know how long it's been, maybe 150 years or so, but psychic readings and seances really became popular. And psychic is going into your energy field and reading your thoughts. Reading your energy is reading your thoughts. And so there's just way too many psychic readings that are happening. Readings are meant to be guidance. So the first reason is that they're trying to change the way readings are done, and so they're stepping in to do the training. People have been training each other for decades, and they said that training is not proving to be accurate enough. People are not connecting to the other side verbally in a strong way. They are getting pictures, and they're getting physical sensations, or they're going psychic, and guides and loved ones are just not able to get conversation across as easily as they want. They said the other thing is there's been a wave of law of attraction for about 50 years now, and law of attraction is the gentle movement, the peaceful movement. Yeshua calls it the Good Human Project, and they said now that it's half a century long, they're ready to do phase 2, which is, you've got people for the last 50 years, 2 different generations at least, that have really been learning about law of attraction and why nice becomes nice and good begets good and why you should be doing it, and that health reasons, doctors and physicians, they're all agreeing that stress on the body is reduced when you do meditation and when you have a gentler, relax, rest easy, de-stress. So the world is learning that stress has done something bad to us. But when you de-stress, something good happens. So the whole power of positivity is aiding everybody in their own personal awakening. So the second reason that Yeshua is doing all of this material now is because people are ready for it. The minds of people are ready for, I'm a gentle human being, I'm learning how to manifest, but what else can I do with it? What else can my mind do? And so that's why they're here. The world is ready. 50 years of law of attraction and the gentle movement. Yeah, the world's ready. And I'm just
greater acceptance
beyond,
the world's ready.
Yeah, and I'm beyond blessed to be, a channeled person, number one, a channeled person at all. And I love what I do, and I do this full time now. So what did I do before I was 48? I was IT program manager, and I taught leadership development. I had ideas of writing my own leadership books. I wanted to write a leadership book that was short stories and a leadership book that was poetry, because some people learn in different ways. And lo and behold, I know it sounds fabulous, right? So, there's not a leadership book out there that's poetry that kind of connects with the creative mind. And lo and behold, Yeshua is writing short stories to heal the chakra system. They love doing poetry. They're also following through with me on a passion that I had before they stepped into my life this way. And they're in the middle of writing 2 leadership books. One is a leadership chapter book, and the other is short stories to promote love leadership is what they call it, connecting to people by using love, because people are connected with love, as we were talking about a little bit before the show.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's
beautiful because that's what's needed. Yeah. It's straddling this whole metaphysical versus this hardcore reality of business, of greed and fear and stress and I don't know, slave drivery.
But it is, but it's also mainstreaming channeled conversation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
it's the spiritual community, the metaphysical community. They all have a desire for more channeled, because the teachings are just so thorough. But reaching out into the business world. So my hope and desire is to connect with business schools and with colleges and universities. And I would love to bring Yeshua through so that they can teach a class, so that they can give a lecture, so, fill the room with college students, 18 to 22 or, majority, and fill their minds with something healthy and beautiful, and that channeled is good, and that it's real, and that it's healthy, because you never know who's in the audience. It might be somebody who's just like me, that is sitting there with a beautiful gift, a pre-birth intention to have this beautiful gift blossom, and you just never know when the right teacher is going to be presented. So
what's amazing about what you're saying is how dovetailed our thought processes have been over the last 20, 30 years, because that's been a goal of mine as well. And interestingly enough, I would very much hope and love to be able to have Jeremiah sit in front of my guide, converse with young people as we change things completely, just change the dynamic, the paradigm of thought about what is possible. And I look forward to that, really. That's one of the major goals that I have in terms of making sure that that people out there know that there is a different way to live, a different way to think, which can change the way they live. And we can let go of the past and start designing our future in a way that is so magnificent. So thank you for that.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And one of the things that Yeshua has been promoting is not just positive role models, but positive images. Because what you take in is what you become. Thoughts create things.
Exactly.
But thoughts are not just your own literal thought. A thought is a meme. A thought is a social media post. A thought is a poster. A thought is a billboard. A thought is a movie. A thought are lyrics to a song. A thought are words in a book. And a thought is also conversation. And a thought is what you surround yourself with. So positive imagery. And for anybody that's wanting to manifest, they're big proponents of, when you go to the internet and you browse something, like say you're looking for a new car and you decide you want a BMW. And so you type in the search criteria, BMW, 2023 model, whatever. I'm not a BMW owner, so I don't know the models. But they say, don't look at the websites. Go to images or type in images of this model BMW, images of cats, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, because images don't have prices. And so your eyes don't take in, when your eyes see a price, especially a full price, brand new price, your eyes take in, I'm not good enough. Oh no. Why did I do that? I don't know if I can. I wish I had more. I think I need to feel bad about my status. And so when you just look at the images of the cars, the inside, the outside, sitting on a beach or going up a mountain, a windy mountain or the beautiful scenery, but you're seeing car, your mind is taking in new car, new BMW, new car, new BMW, and I'm looking at it. So the only thing you need to add is, and that's the car I buy next. And that's the car I buy next. And that's the car I buy next. So when you're just Google images of whatever you're trying to manifest, and then you just flip through and love on it, love on it, love on it. And then when you shut that browser down, say, and that's the car I'm buying next. And then you're done. You can manifest. That's visual manifesting in the most powerful way, visual manifesting, because you add in the verbal component that it's mine. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you'll just start seeing more BMWs on the road because you loved on them.
That's beautiful.
Whatever you think about, whatever you think about, you get more of. So you got to add in the verbal component. That's the one I'm going to buy next.
And this is the antithesis of this, of course, is what needs to change. Is a lot of people are focusing on negative things. They're exposing themselves to negative things on purpose. Drama, discord, other forms of negativity, and they wonder why in their lives that this is perpetuating. And this is what I've been fascinated by in the past, since I found you, and I started listening to your YouTube videos, which are phenomenal, just phenomenal videos. You just listen to them over and over and just learn such amazing things about your own life. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter what your acceptance level is of any of this. There is something there for everyone based on wherever it is that they are. But I found that in the last couple of months, I have been finer tuning for me what I have been watching and things. And I know that I love anything that makes me, watching anything, movies or otherwise, that makes me feel amazing at the end of it, where I feel like I can do anything, like I can accomplish anything. And we know what that feeling is. So there's a wholesale change that needs to happen where people just need to realize that it's what you love on that you get. So how can they apply that practically in their life to change their life and themselves? That's the fascination
Yeshua says,
with all this.
Yeah, Yeshua says it this way: you get what you think about. And that which you love upon, you get faster. So you get what you think about. You could think about positive or negative, and you get more of what you think about. You get more positive, and you also get more negative. So there's not a switch that says I only want things that I love on. You get what you think about most. What you focus on, you get more of. So what do you really want more of? You want things that are fun. You want things that are exciting. You want things that are pleasant. You want things that are happy. You want experiences, in other words, that make you feel good. And so you've got to love on everything that you see to kind of turn the tide on you got to reduce negativity on every subject possible. So, when they talk about the BMW and using images as far as manifesting, the reason is the price tag. So you might go looking for a car or a new blouse or whatever it is that you're looking for. You might go looking for something, but it is so challenging to just walk in somewhere, decide that you like something, try it on, it fits, walk to the counter, buy it, and never look at the price tag ahead of time. We're conditioned to look at price tags. And so when even though you might be loving all over that thing that you want to buy, but when you see the price, there's something that happens on the inside, and you start to feel palpitation. You might feel your blood pressure rise a little bit. You might have a visceral reaction of, no, my goodness, I can't buy that. You got to be kidding me! A $400, dress, I can't do that. But
the word unworthy comes to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. But we know that some people can buy a $400 dress, $500 dress, a $50,000 car. We know that some people can buy $1 million car. We know a lot of people buy a $100,000 car. But it's not me. It's not, but that's what people say. But it's not me. I can't do that. And so then you buy the mainstream version. You buy Toyota instead of I'm using car examples today, and I should have prepared better for it. But there's it's okay.
BMW, Mercedes, the cars,
right.
Status symbol cars.
Right.
Lamborghini,
so I think it's, Right. I think it's Ford and the Lexus. I'm not even sure, but there's different models for different bank accounts, and they're all pretty. And there's luxury model because there are people that can afford luxury. And what Yeshua wants people to do is to just believe that they can afford luxury. And maybe their bank account grows, but maybe they just have less stress when they buy something. And less stress when you buy something and you just feel like it's a better purchase, then you feel better about it. And then you just feel healthier. So, love on everything, even the things that seem challenging.
Yeah.
You don't love on the fact that things are challenging, but yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, although you haven't been with us live on the air, you have been with us in spirit because your teachings come up all the time. And we refer to you, just so you know, we have a very special place in our heart. Michael has reminded us on so many shows to love on it, love on it, love on it. And I just want to say, because it's so important what the message that you're bringing through, that you have your own self journey. And I think one of the gifts that you offer, and I'm just going to let people know, because you do readings for people, which is what Michael received, that it really transformed and helped him go, aha, this is what I have been waiting for. This is what I've been looking for. Can you just share a little bit? Because I had the most beautiful reading from you and was able to reconnect with my guide and also a higher guide. And I utilize a lot of the teachings. So not only do you do readings, but you also do classes. And there's so much wisdom in there. And I'm thinking, because when you were talking about carbs, I'm like thinking to myself, no, desserts, because I've watched you share pictures of amazing desserts, and you say, you know what, I deserve this. I'm not going to look at anything else. That's how you manifested in the beautiful cruises that you did. And I don't know if you consider that law of attraction, but would you share a little bit about some of those things that you offer that has really been transformational for both Michael and myself?
Well, I would love to, and thank you for bringing that up. So, yes, readings and attunements. I do appointments Monday through Saturday, and I do 30-minute and 60-minute appointments. I do private group readings, so my appointments are on my calendar on my website, and if you want to share the cost of a reading and bring a group together, you are welcome to do that. Somebody just needs to book the appointment and pay for it, and then you share the cost amongst yourself, and that does work. If anybody wants to create an event and have Yeshua speak at an event on a specific topic, then I have a way for you to do that as well. I do 2 hours for $50 a person, and then you just fill the room with as many as you can, and I'll set up an event for you, and we'll promote it together. So Yeshua does classes, unfoldment, which is learning to become a medium and channeled person. If you go all the way to channeled, then your guide will definitely decide which of the 4 pillars to teach, and they would like to do self-paced courses, perhaps write a book, but they're eager to get more channeled material out. So there is a class on unfoldment into channeling, and a second class, which is the art of self-healing. And these are ongoing weekly classes, but I group them in sets of 12, and they are very unique. They're designed, and the instruction comes from Yeshua from start to finish. The homework, the exercises, the entire curriculum, and then they have a signature event. It's called Our Knowing Conversations with Yeshua, and it's once a month, 2 hours, and it's nonstop Q&A. Any question that's important to you is allowed, and they do choose people individually to ask their questions. And when you sign up for the Our Knowing on the website, there's an optional text box where you can send in your question ahead of time, And I love that idea because it lets you just, number one, you relax. Your question has been asked, and that takes a little bit of pressure off. And then when your question is submitted, actually, we have a few hours after the taping of this conversation with you guys, there is an hour knowing this evening. And so I'll sit down with all of the questions that have been submitted, and Yeshua will just tell me which ones they want to do and in what order. So I'll have a little cheat sheet of which ones, and then they'll read them out loud. And then they'll ask for questions from the participants as well. So that's $55 a month, and you get 2 hours every single month. Shameless plug, since you offered me the opening, I'm going to take it. There's a new membership opportunity on my website. You get all 12-hour knowings for the whole year to attend in person, live, virtual. You also get all of the archive for the whole year. You get one 30-minute reading. You get one of the Yeshua books. You get a free gift, because I love giving free things away. And then you also get to witness book dictation at least once a year. And book dictation is I sit in front of the camera and Yeshua identifies the book, and then they just speak the book out loud. I record it, of course. And then in a live virtual Zoom format, after the chapter is complete, then Yeshua will open it up to questions from the group. So if you're in membership, you get to witness book dictation and ask questions on the material week by week by week, and I'm really, really excited. So much so that they told me earlier that the book that they're going to do this year is called Your Natural State Reclaimed. It's a Pillar 3 book, so it falls in the self-healing category. And that's going to begin July 19th will be the first night. So the membership is $50 a month, and you get all of that. You get all of it.
That's amazing.
I think it's fun.
I just want to give your website, because it's America's, with an S, America's-medium.com. So it's America's-medium.com. So that people can find all of that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. Really, I've never been so excited to give free things, because, it's a business, and people do think, well, if I give free things away, how do I make money? And I've had that conversation with Yeshua, and I said, but they said, do you want to leave all of that in? And I said, well, it feels like the right package. It feels good. And they said, if it feels good, then just say the word done. The word done has like finality to it, and it's also a way to stop indecision. So in the moment that everything feels good, or you feel like you've exhausted all the opportunities, then just look at what you have and say the word done. It's done. And then indecision will float away. I did that, and it's felt good ever since that moment. And so it's on the website, and I hope a lot of people are drawn to it. It's a really fun time, and you get a lot of great stuff for a small amount monthly.
Wow. Well, I think what you're doing, not only you're spreading your light, you're spreading love, you're doing good in the world, and you're fulfilling really part of what your mission is and what you came here to do. And I think to be able to witness, what a rare opportunity. I mean, I couldn't even imagine being a fly on the wall, being able to watch Jane Roberts' channel in all of the Seth books.
Right?
It would really be a rare opportunity to be able to tap into that, and then to be able to ask questions after is amazing.
Yeah. That's, it's so funny, because I have the same thought, is what will happen to my archive after I'm gone? And it's like, I'm already forecasting that their material is going to be big, and that it's going to be desired, that it's going to be poured through. I don't want it analyzed, but I do want people to learn from it forever and forever and forever. So, the classes that they're doing that are ongoing weekly live virtual. They've also told me that they would really like me to set some time aside so that they can tape some video sessions and then package them as self-paced courses. And I've got a list, I'm not exaggerating at all, 50 different classes that range somewhere between 90 minutes and 3 hours each. And they're calling it the Yeshua School of Intuitive Advancement. And so I'm looking at different ways to put all that together. I've got a group that's looking at different websites to host it on, and so probably within the next month or next couple of months, I will have made a decision and start accumulating different video series and packaging them as mini master courses. And then there's even more content for people. I think they teach using storytelling, and they weave in logic, and they blend the pillars in such a way that it's almost impossible to walk away without feeling like you just had the best day ever, because you just have answers that make sense, answers that aren't strange or weird or overly spiritual, that you can't really connect the dots and you can't really, mentally envision what the process is. They describe it, and they use props, and they use storytelling, and they just use down-to-earth examples to get their point across. And it's really fun to hear it and witness it. But it's even more fun to see students that just blossom because of their teaching. And there's just, there's nothing that, I could talk about their work all day long, but the testimonials that come through, changed my life, Yeshua changed my life. It's like, wow, I have the best job ever.
That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. It is fun.
I do believe there is a true hunger for this. It's a soul hunger. I think people, you can only have so many purses and so many whatever else it is that you're shopping. We used to call it shopping cart spirituality, and you're just leaving people empty. But this fills you up. And before the show, and I would love for you to share this, Carol, because I think it's so powerful to hear. You had started to speak about how we are connected by love, and that love is the strongest wavelength. You wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about that, because I think it's so heartwarming, and it just makes gives you that feeling that, hey, you know what, I'm not alone on this journey.
Yeah. Well, I think that if you guys don't mind, I think that's a great question to bring Yeshua in and have them describe the love movement.
Beautiful.
And the Good Human Project. All right, so let's do that. We're Yeshua to speak. This is easy. We just swiftly walk right in. We sit here and we listen to the conversation, and we whisper different things in Carol's ear, and then her mind goes nice and soft. And so in this conversation, we're sitting here in the living room. She's got a cat walking behind her, and so her eyes are open, and she's looking around the room, and what she sees is what she has. She sees objects. When you see objects, you see love, or you see the opposite. So if you've got a thought, your mind does the same thing. It sees love, or it sees the opposite. So we say there's really only two emotions in the world, love and the opposite. And the opposite can have a lot of different flavors. But what is disappointment but less love? What is hate but a lot less love? What is joy? Love. What is bliss? A lot of love. So isn't emotions just varying degrees of love? Mm-hmm. We think everybody has love. We think you have abundance of words that you use to describe what you like and what you don't like. We want you to use the words that describe what you like and what you don't like softer. So we want to get rid of the word hate, and we want to just say disappointment. Because by and by, disappointment could take over instead of hate. So let's just say, oh, I hate that T-shirt. I hate that T-shirt. I hate that T-shirt. Stop wearing that T-shirt. I hate that T-shirt. Stop wearing that T-shirt. Why do you wear that T-shirt? I hate that T-shirt. But if you say that often enough, you will come upon more hateful things in the world. And hate might just be a flat tire on your car or somebody else's. It might be somebody using a hand gesture that indicates that they're hating the moment. It could be sarcasm that describes something that is hateful. It could be turning on the television and the program that your TV magically opens up to happens to have some hateful things in it, because hate finds hate. So instead of using the word hate, just use disappointment. I'm disappointed that you're wearing that T-shirt again. I'm disappointed that I don't like that T-shirt. I'm disappointed. And even it's not the very nicest thing you could say, but it is healthier for you and what your future self will manifest. And we mean future self in this lifetime, the years that you have ahead of you. Love connects everybody because it's a world that is full of love, but varying degrees of it. And so we call it the love movement, and we want people to really think about the words that they choose. Verbal therapy. Verbal therapy. Do you know how many people could be fixed emotionally if they just learned the art of choosing words? Vocabulary is what we're talking about. So love is a word, but love is an emotion. Love is in the world. Love is in the world. So let's just say the only emotion that's in the world is love. And it is. It's only love. It's just love. It's love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. But in any particular moment, you're experiencing the fullest amount of that which is, or a very, very small amount of that which is. Love in itself is not depleted, but you only capture some of it or all of it, but you never capture none of it. We won't let that happen. So we call it the love movement. The Good Human Project is a little bit different. It's using the love movement to improve the lives of people. It's philanthropic, mostly, and it's using people and resources to improve the lives of others, because there are lives in the world that could use a healthy dose of improvement. And there's a lot of people who are wanting to be in on that. And so we call it the Good Human Project, because you're all good humans to varying degrees. And so you all have love, and you all have love to give, and you all want love. And sometimes in the giving, you're also receiving. And is that not true? You want to give love, but you also want to receive love. And when you give love, you get appreciation in spades, and therefore you have gotten the thing that you were looking for, being loved. So love begets love, and giving love begets being loved. So we call it the love movement, the Good Human Project, verbal therapy, and that love is really the only emotion in the world. And when you focus on love, you get more of it. What you focus on, you get more of. So focus on what is the degree of love that I'm focused on. And if you say, I hate that T-shirt, well, then you're focused on a very small amount of love. Does that feel like the right thing to do? And if you ask yourself truly and give yourself a moment to truly provide a truthful answer, you'll say, no, that's not the very best thing I could do for myself. So just choose a softer word, a softer word. I'm not liking it. Well, that's okay too. I love you, but I hate that T-shirt. Well, you've stepped in the right direction, but not fully. But you have put love and hate side by side. And so even when you say that, well, I love on you, but I hate that T-shirt. But even when you say it, the word hate ends up coming out. The tone of voice, the tone of voice is softer. And so even if the word hasn't changed, the tone of voice, the energy behind it, the energy in the word, the energy in the exchange has softened. And so we'll say, well, that's a good first start. We'll take it. What can we answer for you both? We love you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got a question?
I'll let you go, Michael, because I can feel it on the tip of your tongue.
I would love for you to speak. I would love for you to speak to the concept of love, loving yourself, and loving your life when it comes to your own health and well-being, and as you age. I'm 65 years of age, so a lot of the people who might listen to this would be a lot younger. I'm coming into the whole channeling thing late in life, and I come across people that really need to understand how loving themselves in their life relates to how they age and their overall health.
It's the art of self-healing, pillar 3. But it also combines pillar 2. What you think about, you get more of. So we would say, do you really want to describe yourself as someone who's late in life? Because let's say that you were destined to live to 100. Well, that means you still have a third of your life to go. Well, that means you're just barely over the 50% mark. That doesn't mean you're not at the tail end. So are you sure late in life is the right words to use? So saying
Very
I'm
good
65, that's okay to say that you're 65, but do you feel youthful when you say 65? Or do
Absolutely.
You feel,
Absolutely. Okay. I feel awesome.
Okay, but which one makes you feel more youthful? To say that you're 65 or that you're 25? Which one feels youthful? 25, because it's a younger number. So just by admitting your age, it is, and therefore a younger number comes with youth. So we would say admit that less, and your body will acknowledge your age less. So how do you get physical healing? Well, sometimes it's just tricking the system. We'll give you all kinds of trips and techniques because it is tripping the system. It's tripping the system. When you trip the system, it's in the grid. In other words, it's like something temporarily malfunctions. When you say you're 65, it is not going to malfunction. You will get what you have seen. So when you see 65, there is an image in your grid. There's an image in your subconscious mind of what 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Your mind has an idea of what it is supposed to manifest based on what you have seen in your lifetime. So we would say, pull out a picture of you and then put an age at the bottom that says, this is me, I'm 25. A picture of you as you are today. This is me, I'm 25. And you'll trip the system. But you could also just not admit it. I am youthful. I am young. I am energetic. I am vibrant. I am healthy. I am wise. I am wealthy. I am fun. I am friendly. I am nice. I am considerate. I'm good. I'm happy. And if you go on a mantra like that, yes, if you do that kind of a mantra day after day after day, then you will be healthier than someone who does not. You'll be healthier than someone who does not.
That's a nice age hack. I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
It is an age hack.
I just wanted our audience to know. I just wanted them to know that. That
it is.
People get caught up in all that. Weight loss is big right now. People loving themselves. People are having a challenge loving themselves because of all the things they're exposing themselves to, which are putting these impressions in their mind of how they that are making them feel less than. And could you speak to that?
Yes. We think the world needs meditation because of it. We think if person by person by person, you don't understand what stress does to you. stress, which means unhealthy emotions, thoughts that come by way of experiences. And your experiences can be your own literal thought, or it could be watching a television show that's full of sarcasm, or full of belittlement, or full of disgusting. It could be full of something that you disagree with vehemently. Marrying somebody before you know their last name. Everything in you revolts at that. But on the outside, you might find it funny or entertaining. But inside, the subconscious mind, the inner mind, what we call the grid, it does not find it funny. It just looks at a show like that and says, what's going on here? Something's not right. And that's what accumulates in that person's grid. Something's not right here. Now, when someone's trying to lose weight, well, there's a lot of different things that happen to the physical body by way of clogged pipe. So when we talk about cause and effect, we talk about the grid as the cause, and the effect is what you feel on the outside. It's law of attraction. What you get, you become. What you get, you become. What you think about, you get more of. So if you think about lemons, you'll start seeing lemons, or you'll start seeing yellow. Or you might see broken cars, because all of those things fall in line with yellow. But what you think about, you also become. What you have in the grid manifests, and it will manifest first as a thought, and then a behavior, and then something physical that doesn't equal healthy, and then they simply get worse. Worse thoughts, worse behaviors, worse physical health. So how do you get healthy? Change your thoughts, what you're taking in. Change the television shows that you're watching. Change the conversations that you're having. Change what you pay attention to. But also, get up and exercise. Not because it's required that you exercise, but meaning the beings who created this physical life experience. And there are, let's just call them creators. The beings who created human physical life for us to play in. When they created physical life, they did not create emotions that would go haywire. They did not create positive and negative to be at odds with each other. They created a variety of things for you to see and experience and still stay connected to your guide. And that's the whole of it. So what are you doing here in this physical life? Well, maybe you are getting fat. Maybe you are getting sluggish. Maybe you are getting lazy. Maybe you are getting not enough exercise. Because maybe exercise is something that your physical mind enjoys. Maybe exercise when you were younger was something you really, really, really enjoyed. And so as life gets less joyful, then you find yourself in the behavior category and you're doing less joyful things physically. So you no longer throw the frisbee. You're no longer on the baseball team or the cheerleading squad or the volleyball team. You're no longer running track because joy has left your life and now you're just in the rat race of work. And so why do people stop exercising? Because they have that much less joy in their life, and it shows up as a thought, I don't have time, and then it shows up as a behavior, and then they stop exercising. And then those things have a cause that also have an effect, and now you have a backache, or you've got a muffin top, or digestive problems. And so what do you need to do? Go back to reminiscent joy. What makes you feel fun? You know, pull out Yahtzee on a Friday night and have a whole bunch of friends over and sit on the floor or the dining room table. But you'll find that you're more joyful if you're sitting on the floor playing at the coffee table. You'll have more joy. You'll have more fun. You'll laugh more. Now, you might get up and you might creak and groan as you're standing up, and then people laugh at you, but it's a different kind of laughter. So we say play because as children, you would play sitting on the floor. You would play, and then you'd be playing so hard that you'd fall asleep soundly, or you'd get yelled at because you're playing too long and it's time to go to bed. So people need to get back to playing. And sometimes playing is join intramurals. Go to your community pages of your neighborhoods and of your town and join an intramural anything and be around people of your own peer group and get back to playing and watch how you feel happier. And when you feel happier, you will drink more water or things like it, but you will also choose different things to eat. And when you choose different things to eat and you're playing and you're happy, watch how the pounds fall off without efforting. Now, if you're trying to get a certain physique and you're trying to, do some very specific things, well, then specific exercise might come in. If you're trying to strengthen the biceps so that you can pick up a certain coffee table, or, you've got a certain goal in mind. So we're looking here, we're sitting in Carol's living room, and she has a teak root coffee table that she cannot pick up by herself. If she wants to move it anywhere, she's got to shimmy it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to get it to move across the floor. Now, that's good, but if there were two people here, they could pick it up and move it across the floor. She can't do that by herself. But there are people who can reach underneath it and pick it up. She can't. So maybe she doesn't have this goal, so we're just using it, but maybe she has a goal of being able to pick that up. Well, she would have to strengthen the muscle fibers in the arms, in the forearms, in the shoulders, in the back, in the abdomen, in the buttocks, in the thighs, and in the hamstrings. All of those, so the muscle that you think about, plus all of those that would be connected to it for that activity. So you got to think about what your goals are. But no matter what your goals are, you have to find happy first, or the weight won't fall off. And if the weight does fall off, then you're doing it by depleting the body of nutrients. And that's not a good thing for the grid either.
I wanted to ask, because the messages that you gift us with, I feel that they come from a place of unconditional love. And there is a shift right now. I think people have lost not only unconditional love for others, but unconditional love for themselves. Is there some way or technique or teaching that can bring us back to that place?
Meditation, but also just joy. So we do use the channeled method. Let's just say the channeled method of conveying information. Channeled method is out loud, as Carol described earlier. And we are speaking from a place that is love. We don't have depletion of love. We don't have varying degrees of love. We have love full and complete. Everything, every time, everywhere, always. So where you are in the physical platform that you are experiencing, you have a variety of percentages of love weaved in, and you call it emotions. We just say you're focusing on a certain percent of love, either a lot of it or not a lot of it. And when you focus on not a lot of it, you call it an emotion of anger or whatever emotion you're referring to. Where we are, we don't have that same problem. We don't have varying degrees of love. We just have love, 100% all the time on everything. So yes, we do love you, and we do love where we are speaking from, and we love all people, and we love being people when we decide to be people. But how do we teach you that we are love? Well, these kind of conversations. There are conversations about spirit-bound entities, about fallen angels, about negative beings and positive beings, and angels of the light and angels of the dark and heaven and hell. And we would like to do away with all of that, because that doesn't teach you that we are love. When you learn that your guide and the non-physical teachers and your loved ones after they've passed, they're in a location that is whole and complete love-bound, then when you learn that, then you want to connect with those beings so that you feel healthier. But there's also another reason. We do like to do attunement on people. We line up your chakras, we balance your chakras, we refit and reformat them so that they're the way they're supposed to be. We're active in your life. We're not just sitting on the sidelines waiting to have a conversation through you. We are day and night working on your chakra system to prepare it for the upcoming day. to prepare it for the upcoming day so that you would heal faster and have better conversation. But mainstream people, mainstream, we just mean people in general, mainstream thought is that people heal themselves by going to the doctor. We do want you to see a doctor when things get bad, because doctors have come up with ways to remove pain or put things back together. But why? Why let it get that why let your bodies get that broken? Just use meditation daily and your bodies won't get that broken. They won't get that broken.
Right.
Use meditation daily and your bodies won't get that fat. You might get a little pudgy, but you won't get fat. And if a little bit of pudgy is not what you're wanting, well, then maybe that is fat for you. So go do the same things that we talked about. So fat doesn't mean obese. Right. Fat means this is different from my life experience and I don't like it. Mm-hmm. So get back to joy. So break out Yahtzee and play Yahtzee with your friends and go buy a Frisbee because it was fun. You know, when was the last time you made a kite? You know, take a sheet or a pillowcase and make a kite. It's fun. Now, there are expensive ways to do fun, and you can go buy a kite and do that too. But it's so fun to just say, I did it, and it's fun. And I like it, and I want to have more joy, and I want to laugh more. We think people should just get back to friendly with others and friendly with themselves. You're too stressed out as a race of people. You're so focused on your to-do list, and you're so focused on the clock, and you're so focused on what you did not get done rather than what you did get done. Find ways of just congratulating yourself and let yourself off the hook, and you'll feel healthier. Beautiful. When you're healthier, weight and physical problems will come into alignment.
That's so beautiful and well said.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for oh my gosh, my heart is just filled with so much joy, and I want to thank you. And I'm sure, Michael, you feel the same.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so grateful for all that you shared, and I'm eager to continue the conversation.
There is so much to learn. I will say one thing though. Go to look up Carol Collins, the America's Medium on YouTube. Lots of videos that you can partake of that will help up your level of intelligence when it comes to the Yeshua Collective and how you can move forward in your life, and connect with Carol on her website, americas-medium.com. I'll be doing that. I'll be talking to you next week. Carol will set something up.
So sounds great. Thank you for having me again.
All right. Thank you.
It's a delight, absolute delight, and we're so grateful. Any last words that you want to leave us with through the Yeshua Collective? I'm just so grateful to.
Oh gosh, there's always more. There's always more. There's always more. There's always more. And so next time that you have an opportunity to invite them back, I'm there, happy to be here. And you know, the Good Human Project, the love movement.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
It's
thank
fun,
you all.
Just to be involved in healthy things. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
What a gift.
Helping people.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're so grateful you could join us here on Connect to Love on PRNFM, and looking forward to our next conversation. Blessings to you all.